Greetings, everyone. This is Payman Lorenzo, your host of the Leader Podcast. Today, I have a back-to-back, my dear, wonderful friend from England, Kristen Lester. We had a beautiful conversation about 2 months ago for episode 338. And here is she back. I don't know what episode this is going to be, probably in the 360s, 370s. I lost track of, I have about 20, 25 episodes behind, but something in that area. And yeah, we had a powerful conversation on the podcast about 2 months ago. Wait, May, June, July, wait, 3 months. Anyways, 3 months ago. And now she's back, and we're gonna talk today about more amazing things about her life. I'm super excited to have her here. Christine, welcome back to the show, my friend.
Thank you. Glad to be back.
Very welcome. I don't know why,
Can't hear
but
my dog barking, can you?
no worries, no worries. I don't know why all of a sudden the rays are coming right at my face. Do you see me? I don't know why all of a sudden, but it's okay. I hope it's not going to interfere. Anyways,
No, it's fine.
how are you doing today, my friend?
No, I'm doing fine because I'm with you. I'm talking.
Ah, so sweet. So sweet. Awesome. So tell us, for people, as a refresher, for people who don't know you, don't remember it, tell us. We're going to talk about your business and all the good stuff later, but as a person, as a human being, as a woman, who's Christine? In a short way.
What is Christine?
Who is Christine as a person, as a human being, as a woman? Yes.
I don't know. I think even at my old age, I'm confused about what I am. I think the modern way of putting women and men in groups, it doesn't seem to resonate with me. I think I judge people more on who they are as a person rather than what they are as a gender or all this stuff. I just want people to be honest and truthful.
Yes.
I find that hard in business. I think I'm probably too open. Well, my close friends say I am too trusting. I trust that when people say they will do something, they will do it.
Yeah.
Because I do. If I say I will do something, hell has to open up for me not to do it. I'll probably put myself through too much pain trying to satisfy somebody else's needs. I think when I was teaching that was particularly difficult because the college I worked at had certain targets, and sometimes I would have a student who perhaps I didn't think was going to reach that target, so I put twice as much effort into them, which took time, and sometimes I got criticized for the time. But to me, it always came back when I saw a student succeed at something that they were perhaps slow at grasping. That was enough. That was enough to satisfy me. And doing adult education hasn't really changed. Hasn't changed me. It's still the same. I can still see adults who don't achieve their full potential. And I think probably more so, I can't influence that. Only they can do that. Only they can want to do to be more than they are at the moment. And I think that's why I'm so passionate about self-development, because it worked for me. So I want it to work for everyone. And that's difficult because their life to that point may not enable them to see what the difference could be, where they could achieve. That's my best answer, I think, really.
No, it's beautiful. Like
that's
it.
me.
That's what we want. We want you, the raw, unfiltered, unscripted you. That's what you're getting. Awesome. Cool. Now, on part one, we talked about your background growing up in school, your first few years of your life up to, say, end of high school. Now, let's take it from there. From the moment you left school to now, how would you describe your path? Would you say it was pretty much straightforward? Once you got into one lane professionally, you were set for life? Or was it more like turns and twists, like a roller coaster?
Turns and twists and a roller coaster, really. When I look back, I can't believe where I came from. I can't believe that the career advice I had, as you said, just before I left school, almost the last term, was the best thing that you can expect is Woolworths, which to then was a huge retailer. It was on every high street. But the best you can expect is to be serving a shop assistant in Woolworths. My father, I know I remember asking him if I could go to university. And he said no. If I pay for you to go to university, you'll get married and you'll have children, and then I won't get my money back. was his answer, I think. But then he sort of thought about it for a bit, and he said, well, I tell you what, I'll give you 12 months in a secretarial college. He said you can learn basic typing, shorthand, as it was then. And that was a big thing, to be given a year after you'd left school.
What is shorthand?
Shorthand is well the one I learned. There's two types of shorthand, but it's you write what they call outlines for every word. So for you're dictating something, I could do it. I could dictate. I could transcribe and put it into shorthand, into outlines, and perhaps a whole paragraph would be reduced to one sentence. Because all the words sort of joined together. It's somebody was discussing this the other day on again on Facebook, and said, does anybody remember doing shorthand? But that's what it meant. It was short for handwriting,
like summarizing things.
Yeah, but you used we call it outline. It could be a circle, it could be a curve. But you had to learn, and it took you a year to learn all the outlines and what we call the short forms. But now, of course, we can record everything. Back then we couldn't record things, voice record minutes of meetings.
Yes.
Nobody would run a meeting unless somebody was in there doing shorthand. And I think you still see it. If you look at the cabinet meetings in number 10 in Downing Street, you will always see somebody sitting at the back taking notes. And the chances are they're doing shorthand because they couldn't keep up with it otherwise.
Yeah.
Because identifying who's speaking is the problem, because you're looking at what you're writing and you're trying to see who's saying something. So he gave me a year. So as well as the shorthand, I learned bookkeeping, which is still very valuable nowadays.
Sure.
What else did I learn? Commerce. How does business work? All that kind of stuff. And you take exams at the end of it. So I got certificates that to this day, it says I could do shorthand at 100 words a minute, and I can do typing at 60 words a minute. So those kind of skills haven't gone out. You still use them. So anyway, after all that, I started to go for interviews. And my first job was making the tea, obviously, and managing the switchboard, putting calls through.
Back
to
then
the
they were
directors.
asking you to prepare teas, bring cookies, do photocopies and stuff like that. Like basically a maid, basically.
Yes. All the things in an office that you start at the bottom, don't you? The office junior was always the bottom, running errands. If something had to be delivered urgently, they would give it to me, and I would have to run around the town delivering it because the post took too long. Things like that. So then, after about, I think I was there about a year, and I saw a better job with a bit more money, which is quite interesting, because it was research laboratories, not research on animals or anything like that, but they were researching computers. So I saw almost the first computer, which took up 3 stories of the building. It was so huge. But the amazing thing was at Christmas they could set it to sing carols, and it was really quite strange to hear this machine singing "O Little Town of Bethlehem" or something like that. Then my father moved us again, so we moved to a bigger town, and I ended up in a typing pool, which is a bit boring. And
Mm.
then one day they came out and said that the director's secretary was leaving, and would I like to be considered for the post? So that was quite a leap. At 20, I was organising conferences, for him, because he was a sales director. We used to have people coming in from all over the world to a conference every year, and that used to be my job. So again, I suppose that's on my CV, still relevant. What happened after that? Oh, I met my husband. That's what happened after that.
How did you guys meet?
Oh dear. By that time I'd left home and I'd got a flat. And the girls above me, there were 4 of them in a flat, and they were all nurses, or sisters actually, at a big hospital nearby. And they ran a party, and there was a young man who'd had a very bad accident and had both his legs amputated by a big machine. And to encourage him to recuperate, one of them had said, well, when you're ready to leave hospital, we'll throw a party for you. So of course that's what they did, and it was obviously he couldn't drive, so it was my husband that brought him to the party. So that's how I met Ken. 60 years next year, and it's already about 62 years since we met.
So wait a second. So your husband was the one that got the 2 legs amputated, or?
No. He was his friend.
Oh, okay.
Terry was his friend, and Ken
Okay.
brought him to the party. So yes, that's how we met. And the 4 girls above me were as mad as a box of frogs. They really were. They had parties all the while for any reason whatsoever, and they all drove around on these scooters. The Italian Vespa scooters of then. They all had a scooter, and I wanted a scooter, but I didn't get one. But they all had scooters, and they were always buzzing all over the place. They were.
In which city was that?
Wolverhampton, in the Midlands.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
when you
met your husband that time,
mm,
how soon did you realize that, hey, he's different, he's the one?
I think he did immediately.
Oh, you made the move right away. He didn't want to let you go.
Yes.
Okay.
No, he said, "Oh, do you want to go out next Tuesday," which was a bank holiday. And the 4 nurses were so excited because they felt that they'd introduced me to him. That they were all hanging out the windows upstairs above me, all waiting to see, how was he going to turn up. And all he'd said to me was, bring a helmet. So everybody thought he got a motorbike. So they're all hanging out the window, and they all started screaming when he drove up, and he got this old 1946 Roadster.
Oh wow.
Which is an open top, and we've still got it. It's in the garage. He won't get rid of it. So yeah, they were screaming and with delight, because they thought I'd got a real good one here.
You're an exciting man indeed. Yeah. Wow.
Oh dear. Yes.
Oh yeah.
So
what quality in him really stood out for you and made you realize that, hey, he's different and he's the one for me?
Oh gosh, he had,
other than the bike.
No, the car.
Oh, the car. Yeah, the car. I say the car. Yeah.
Yes, the car. Yeah, no, it wasn't that so much. I think the first thing I noticed, I've got to be careful because he's here. He's listening.
Bring him on. Bring him on.
Now he won't come.
Come on, buddy.
No. No, he had the most. Well, he still has the most piercing blue eyes, and it's his eyes that that pin you straight away.
What's his name?
He hasn't changed, Ken. He hasn't changed much
Ken,
at all.
buddy, brother, come on, come say hi.
No, he won't. He won't. He's hovering.
Okay. No worries. Next time. All right.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah. He'd say awful things about me. He would.
Oh, even better. And that's before drinking, right?
Yeah, I have a domestic.
Oh God, that's
Dear.
awesome. That's awesome. All right, cool. Let's move on. So,
Yeah, let's move on, please.
tell us. Oh yes, tell us about your current impact in the world. What is your business, and how are you making the world a better place around you and around the world?
Mm. I think what one thing that's driving me at the moment is I feel over the years, especially 40 years in business, I feel that I have got a legacy.
Mm,
All the projects that we've done have all got knowledge in them, because I wouldn't do them unless, I felt they needed doing and that they made an impact or made a
hmm.
difference. So everything I've done, I want to put on a knowledge base, and I want people to join it, and I want them to tell me what it is they want to have further information on. So what sector is it? What is it they want to do? Is there anything that I've already done that they can use and build on it? Um, and if it's possible, I'll help them. I'll even try and get the money, get the funding to do it. I've got access into all sorts of people who've got money if I come up with the right project. So that's where all my energy is going at the moment, is just getting people to go and have a look at the knowledge base and see what's there. What is it that inspires them? What do they want? What do they want from it?
So, what kind of
Um,
project would be something you'd be looking at, and you would feel confident to introduce to your network?
well, the very first project I did for Europe was about getting people qualified quicker.
Mm,
And going back to what I said about my little granddaughter, I gave her a certificate of achievement. And I could do that as an assessor. I can assess what they've done, how they've done it, and how does that convert into something that the job market would be interested in. So it's only a bit of a joke, really, as far as my granddaughter's concerned. But if it inspires her and motivates her to want to do something else, that's all it's for. But anyway, going back to my very first project, it was about getting people qualified quicker, and we can do that. That was been able to do that for the last 40 years, but it just
qualified
hasn't
for
been
what?
taken. Anything, whatever sector they're working in,
Mm.
there is a qualification for every sector.
Oh, okay, okay, I see. Okay.
You name a sector to me, and I'll tell you whether it's in different levels. You can start off with a level 1 or a level 2, and you work up to a level 7.
The
Um,
credentials. Okay, I see. Okay.
Even leaders can take a qualification in leadership, um, and I can assess them. I could look at their evidence and say, yes, that's okay. That is accessible. I have done that. I have done that for some great leaders. And sometimes they don't, very much as you're saying to me now, tell me about yourself, because you want to know what my leadership style perhaps
Mhm.
is. I could do that with other leaders. I can see what their leadership style is. What do they
Yeah.
bring to the party? How are they leading their organization? Is it benefiting their employees? What are they bringing to the wider world? What are they doing for climate change? We could do so much, and we're just not doing it. It's tragic, really, because everywhere we're saying that we're going to move on to AI. AI is going to do all these wonderful things for us, but who's going to tell AI whether it's right or wrong?
That's the thing. Yes. You know, at the
I'm not
TEDx,
going to be around, I don't think, to see that come to fruition. But I like to think I'm putting the markers down now. If
you
somebody
know,
sends me something, I can tell straight away whether they've used AI.
I was at the
Um,
TEDx talk that I did this weekend. There was one lady, Vietnamese lady. She works in the AI industry in Vietnam, and she said 76% of jobs in Vietnam in the next 5 years will not be taken over by AI, but they will be taken over by someone who manages AI.
exactly.
That's the thing.
Yes.
Because
Ah,
AI has to be managed. It's all about prompt. Someone, and they
mm,
call it a prompt engineer. And these
yes,
guys, they're being thrown insane amounts of money
yes,
to be able to run that properly. Because at the end of the day, it's just a computer, and the computer needs
yes,
to be told what to do.
Yes.
There has to be a brain behind it.
That's been my message. But I've had difficulty getting that across because people are either scared of AI, and they say, "Oh, we don't want it, so we're going to shut it down. Don't, we won't go there." Or they're trying to embrace it, but they're not asking the right questions. So, for instance, if you Google me, it says that yes, I am a chief exec of Minster. It does say yes, I've got a not-for-profit company. It does say some of the things I've done, and then it says I'm a member of the Society of Felines. And I'm thinking, I know I haven't got a cat. Haven't had a cat for years. Huh?
A
Where did that come
lioness, a
from?
tigress,
And then it says I'm a famous artist. Not. No, I couldn't tell a cow from a horse. I couldn't draw a cow or a horse if it comes to that.
Maybe they heard you singing in the shower, and that's what qualifies.
And then it says it's murdered in America, apparently, and they haven't solved the murder yet. And I'm thinking, this is all on me. This says that that's me, but
maybe
it's
there's
not.
many
It's a
people with the
mix.
same. Maybe there's
It's
many
a
people with the same
mixture.
name.
Yeah, all mixed up together. But that is what happens if somebody isn't managing AI. So from a business perspective, I think that's quite worrying. If that's, that's what people read about me.
Yeah,
that's quite simple. It's quite a simple thing. But supposing it's your business, well, it is my business as it happens. But supposing your business is an international company, who's managing that information? So yeah, you're right. I've come a long way. I've come a long way from a little girl who was told the best thing you can accept is Woolworths.
yeah.
I did tell my father I wanted to be a physiotherapist, but he said no. It's 5 years training. You can't do that.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. So yes.
You should have told him, listen, I can't. I'm a feline. I have 9 lives,
Oh, that's a good one. Yes, that's a good one. Yes, I
Man.
should. But yes, I think AI, we've got to keep an eye on it. I'd love to meet your lady in Vietnam. That would be great to work with her and see what line is she taking. Again, another thing about me is that I need collaboration. I'm no good on my own. At least I don't think I am. I need to work with other people, preferably a group of people, not just one. Sorry. Next question.
There's no next question. And
I don't know.
I'm just joking. Okay. Tell us more about your business. How are you? How is your business? You mentioned that you're doing right now. One of the things I remember, you said you help people create pitches to get funding. That's one of the things you do. Tell us more about that.
Well, everybody said to me they didn't realize that I was a bid writer. And I said, but if you want to do something that's going to make a difference, you've got to be able to vocalize that. You've got to be able to write it down. You're not going to get the funding if you can't say what it is you want to do and how. So really, bid writing just came as accidental. It was just something I had to learn. I started the first couple of years, I just joined other groups that were better at bid writing than I was. But then I met this, well, I say met, I found this lovely Italian man, and he was just amazing. And I worked with him for quite a few years. He died quite suddenly. But the words he wrote to me just before he died were the most amazing things that anybody's ever said about me. I've got a feeling he had a a premonition that he was going to die, but he hadn't told anybody.
Wow.
And he said something in an email or something to me, because he spoke no English and I spoke no Italian, not a word. And yet we collaborated on bids for years. He wrote parts of them and I wrote parts of them. We analysed the questions and what the responses would be. We did all that by email, not even Zoom, because he again couldn't speak English and I couldn't speak Italian, so even Zoom was out. It always had to be written so that he could then transcribe it, and then he'd send something back and I would transcribe it. But anyway, he said something to the effect was something that made me think he was saying he was withdrawing.
Oh.
And I said, "You're not leaving us, are you?" Meaning that he was either giving up bid writing or he was retiring or something like that. And he wrote me the most beautiful words back, and he said, "I could never leave you.
Oh.
You are the most important person in my life. How could I ever think of leaving you?" I've kept those words because every time I get in the least bit down, I think of him. Luigi, his name was.
Luigi, bless your soul.
Luigi, bless him. I still think he's looking down on me and he's saying either, "Get cracking, do it. What are you waiting for? Get on with it."
Yes.
When I get down, I go back to his words and I think, yes, that's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me. That's what keeps me going.
Beautiful, beautiful. What's next for you? What's the next chapter for your business, for your life?
I think the legacy. Unless somebody comes up with something and says, "I want you to do something about this." I thought it was going to be the care sector a month or so ago. I thought somebody was saying to me, "Do you want to do something about the care sector?" And I did. I do have some experience. I have worked in a hospice. I have worked in a psychiatric hospital. We see these people going around now who've been let out and they knifed somebody to death. Little girl in London only a few days ago, completely innocent, tourist. She didn't ask for this man to knife her.
Yeah,
he shouldn't have been out. He shouldn't have been on the streets.
yeah.
So yes, I'd like to do something there, but I'm not qualified as a psychiatrist or something like that. I would need somebody like that on board to give us some direction. What do we do? Where do we do it? Who do we do it to? What would be the outcomes? Who would be the beneficiaries? Yes, I'd love to do that. That would be great. But I have to wait for the right people to come along. That's where we are, really. Yes. And that you could apply to almost every sector where there's a problem. There are answers out there. I believe there are. And I think we know what the answers are. I think we just have to find the right people and do it. As he said, as Luigi said, just go on and do it.
Let's do it. Yes.
Do it.
Indeed.
Is that it? Is that it? You said 40 minutes and I think I've gone more than 40 minutes.
No, it's okay. It's okay. We're good. We're good. Listen, love talking to you. It's beautiful. We'll definitely do another part soon. And if someone wants to connect with you, what's the best way to do so?
Facebook I'm on. I've got my own groups on Facebook, business groups, where I keep about 100 of my closest associates there. And I share with them every day my thoughts. Sometimes they answer me, sometimes they don't. Doesn't matter. But yes, I keep in contact with them all over the world. So LinkedIn mainly for business.
Okay. I'll put that
That's
in the
good.
show note. Thank you. Listen, as always, an absolute pleasure talking to you. Keep shining your light, keep blessing the world, your presence, your impact, your sense of humor, your laugh, your smile, your gifts, your wisdom. And stay safe, stay awesome. God bless you. Definitely going to be talking to you soon, my friend. Take care. You're truly the
You.
one. I salute you.
Just do it. Do it.
Just freaking do it. Yes, indeed. Take care, my friend. Cheers.
Take care. Bye then.
Bye.